Hey guys, it is Friday and it is almost 4:15. It is Friday, May 18th. I am getting ready to go get an in-body scan. So this is kind of like a DEXA scan, a little bit more reasonable on the price. I wanted to know with this bulk about where I'm at. I am going to run on over to the Y. We're gonna get my body scan. I want to do one right now, so then that way we kind of have a before on my bulk, so before my prep. I'm gonna do one after I'm a little ways into prep, so then that way we have an idea of where I'm going, and then hopefully one right before show day. So I just got done doing my in-body scan. James, one of the awesome guys that is a trainer over at the North Y up on Woodlawn here in town, he did my scan for me, and this actually has quite a bit of information on it that I'm really excited that I'm now knowing, and it tells me quite a bit about what I need to do for more training and less training and things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this down on the bed because you can probably see it better than me holding it up. So here we go. Let me hold this back. So they did have me drink quite a bit of water when I went in, and so I am actually pretty well hydrated here. But I was 133.8. On Monday, I weighed in at 130 point something at 15% body fat. So this really is not that far off of what I was expecting, but still pretty low on the weight, and my skeletal muscle mass is actually pretty good considering that I'm such a tiny little thing, and my body fat in pounds is really not that much, so not too hard to work on, but you know, when you're a string bean, kind of goes that way. Down here for my body mass index, I'm at 19.5, and the percent of body fat, I'm at 16 according to theirs. Mine says 15, but you know, 15 to 16, that's really not too much of a difference. And this is actually almost exactly what I expected. So my left arm, even though it is not my dominant arm, is much stronger than my right because of my shoulder issues that I deal with that particular shoulder. Now I technically have problems in both shoulders, but my right arm is the worst. And so to see that it was actually just a bit smaller than the left is really not that surprising. And as far as legs, like almost exactly the same. And so on the bottom they have this little thing, so as I keep going through this prep and I keep checking, we can see what it is as we go along. But he said that it was actually pretty rare to get a person that needed to gain body fat as well as lean body mass, so this is kind of funny. And I'm wanting to put on definitely a lot more than that, but I know that no matter what my body fat mass, they'll always tell me to be adding more. They've done that since I was a kid, so that's really not that surprising. But lean body mass is 112.4. That is really surprising because I have weighed as little as in the 70s and 90s, like in that area, for most of my life. Actually hitting into the hundreds was a huge deal for me. So to see right now that my lean body mass is more than what I've been for most of my life is pretty cool. But my basal metabolic rate right there, I can't read that through the camera, 1,471 calories. I really don't know if I will actually even be slipping even that close to lose the little bit of body fat that I have, just because I tend to lose weight very easily. So I'm really expecting at the final end of my prep that I'm not that far off from that number. Now granted, there's a certain amount of body fat that you should keep just to keep your organs healthy, so you know, I'm not gonna try and slip that low. But anywho, that's actually quite a bit of good information, and definitely going to have to give a little bit more effort towards my right arm But I've noticed even in back pose pictures, like a double biceps back pose, that I am much smaller on my right side due to that shoulder injury and the inability of it to stay in socket. It just always is. Yay, ligamentous laxity is so fun. But again, really not that surprising. I'll just give it a few extra reps and call it bueno. So this is a lot to work with. I'm really, really excited. I can't wait to see how this changes as I go along. So yeah, that scan was actually a lot of really good information that I'm so excited to have now in my arsenal as we continue on through this prep. But over the weekend we did get the chance to go to Midway NPC Championships, and that is a bodybuilding competition that is held here in Wichita, Kansas, and it is a national qualifier, so we did get to see quite a few people that I know compete and even win and get nationally qualified, so that was really, really cool. We didn't really do much over the weekend, so instead I'm going to go ahead and jump to today, which is Monday, to do my morning weigh-in and body physique check-in sort of thing. I don't know what to call that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and hop to that. Basically, intermittent fasting is not eating for a certain amount of time. Now, you could say that this is a eating schedule, and that's a very good way to describe it because it can be for some people. We naturally do this when we're really sick. When we're really sick and we don't want to get out of bed and we just want to drink water and we don't want to do anything, that is basically fasting right there. Now, I did find a lot of information of people using intermittent fasting to lose weight, especially among the keto community. I did notice there was a lot of people, and they do have some really great success at losing weight. So it is a great tool. Don't think it's not. But this intermittent fasting, or IF, I did notice people called it IF a lot. Intermittent fasting can also be used as a way to help with diseases, controlling the symptoms of diseases. I know I personally use it for the inflammation that I get with my autoimmune disorder, as well as some of my intestinal issues. And when I was reading information on this, it did say that it was great for irritable bowel syndrome, as well as people with cancer, and anything that can help you while you're sick, I'm down for that. That is always a plus. Now, I do want to point out that as this motorcycle goes by, that intermittent fasting is not for everyone. To have a person who doesn't have a very good control of their food, that doesn't practice that self-control, this can be very, very difficult for them. And I know when I first started, I thought this is going to be the end of me. I will certainly die. To get down to some of the science of this, from the time we eat something until about 4 to 5 hours later, our insulin levels spike, and we do get that sort of happy, comfortable feeling, and that's a good thing. That lets us know that we've eaten and we've eaten enough, and then that insulin circulates through our system. 8 to 12 hours after we've eaten, those insulin levels drop. They're not so crazy high, and then our body can go ahead and get to work. In most cases, people are using this to lose weight, and the body will get to work on those adipose fat cells. Now, after about 8 to 12 hours for other people, this can cause the body to start to work on inflammation, and it is absolutely amazing when it starts working. If you are prone to an inflammatory response, which I am, then this is the best time ever. Your inflammation starts to go down, the joints stop hurting so much, they start moving so much better, and it makes for a better day. This also works on the intestinal tract as well, especially for people who have things like IBS. So the next thing to talk about is the method of doing intermittent fasting. Each person is going to say that it's a little bit different for them. And for some people, they're going to say you need to do it multiple times a week, every other day. You need to do it once a week. You need to do it for 24 hours. You need to do it for 16 hours, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's a ton of different ways to do this, I'm going to tell you. And I've tried quite a few of them, so this is kind of up to you, what works for you, what works for your schedule, and for your self-control as well. If you're going to be standing around everybody eating cake and you can't control yourself, I don't recommend doing it that day. So the next part here is the method. So the first time that I ever heard anything about intermittent fasting, it was with a 16-hour fast period with an 8-hour eating period. And basically you didn't change anything with your diet, you didn't change anything with your workout routine, you just didn't eat for 16 hours of your 24-hour day, and then you ate for 8 of them. And as I was reading, I found that this was actually really good for men, and men had very positive results in it. The next one I heard of was a weekly 24-hour fast. I honestly don't know if I could do a full 24 hours. If you can, good on you. And that is where once a week you choose a day and you do a 24-hour rest period on your gut. Just water and other non-calorie liquids. The last one is the one that I know and I use quite a bit, and it has helped tremendously. This one isn't necessarily for weight loss, and I am not doing it for weight loss. If I wanted to lose weight, I would start doing some cardio, but I don't want to do that yet. I still got 2.5 more weeks. So on this one, this is a weekly fast. You choose one day a week, and then you fast for about 12 to 14 hours. I did read up on this on quite a few different methods of doing it, that this was best for women dealing with their hormones because they dealt very poorly with their hormones under stress, and that included in a fasted state. So if you are doing this and it works for you, good on you. I'm just saying this was just the research that I read. Now, I choose to do about a 13 to 14 hour fast. If I start going over that, then I'm getting a little grumpy, things aren't working very well, and I start to feel a little sick, a little lightheaded. If I do less than that, I notice the inflammatory reduction is not much of anything, so then what was the point? Now, I do purposely choose to do this on days that are not my leg days, that are typically my rest days, or are going to be a light workout day. And I do know of people that do this on a regular basis on days that they work out. And if you can do that, that is the bomb. Sorry, the camera just died in the middle of that last little bit. So as far as what I would recommend doing for women, that would be about a 12 to 14 hour fast, as that it helps with our hormones and we're not getting into a stress state. And I did read that women do have a tendency of having a hard time dealing with their hormones in a fasted state. So if you can do it like that in the regular time set that a man does, fine, by all means, go ahead and do it. This is, again, a disclaimer really quick here. I am not a doctor. This is just me as a friend sharing information with you. So as far as fasting is concerned, basically it's just not eating anything for a certain amount of time, and it's different per person on what they choose to do. And those were just a few of the different methods that I saw. I do know of other people that do it differently than that, where they purposely choose not to eat for 90% of their day. And okay, you do you, whatever works for you. And again, fasting is just something really, really simple to either help you to lose weight or deal with inflammation. So if you guys found this video helpful, if it gave you some inspiration, if it taught you something, please give it a like and a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, share with your friends, and if you think that this was all bullshit, then go ahead and let me know. I would love to hear that too. I'm always for an opposing view. But anyways, I have got to get dinner going. I'm really hungry now because I've only had 2 meals today. I will let you guys go. Have a fantastic day and kick today's ass. Never stop improving. See you guys.